Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. And the name of today's podcast, The Pain of Uncertainty Isn't Proof That Anything is Wrong. And this came up when I listened to a talk by Guy Finley, a spiritual teacher. Love how he framed this, because that is exactly what we do. We equate uncertainty with something's not going right, that things are not as they should be. Guy Finley also said, when we no longer confuse our thoughts about the moment with the moment itself, we begin to meet life as it is, directly, without distortion. Isn't that amazing? When we give up all our thoughts about the way we thought life should be, what we thought should be happening, how things should be tomorrow, when we put that fear down and we don't confuse what we think the moment should be with the actual moment we are in, we meet life as it is. When we meet life as it is, we are in divine truth. We are one with all that is. And I am telling you, when that happens, you align your desires to the infinite field with all that is unknown. And your path and your heart and life starts to change because you gave up the expectation and you listened to the vibration of the moment, the miracle of the moment. And this shift reveals something so rare. You actually hear something deeper than our thoughts, and all it asks is us to accept what's happening and to participate in life as it is. Doesn't mean you're not going to take action, but that action is going to be so present. That action will be without fear. It'll represent your function in the moment, your true desire in the moment, and your connection with the unlimited field that creates the future. You create the future in this moment. And when you align with the moment, there is no better partner for you to fulfill your life desire and your potential. We forget that the moment never stops speaking to us. It never stops revealing to us something, but we are so busy with our thoughts because we're afraid we're not okay. And because we're so afraid we're not okay, we're always trying to solve things. And uncertainty scares us because it means the life we planned is not happening. So we become very afraid, and then we seek certainty. And we believe that that's how we'll find safety. And we forget to listen to the moment. Where is it redirecting me? How is it guiding me? What is it asking me to experience in this lifetime? And in doing so, we receive the gift that uncertainty offers, the opportunity to be fully present to be with our children, to be with our loved ones, to be with our friends, fully present to allow true creativity, true brilliance, true connection with our heart and our mind and everything that is, to create new things in our lives that are real and different, and connect with all that is possible. When the mind is trying to fix things, it offers us new idea after new idea, more certainty, more control. But every negative state we feel, fear, anxiety, frustration, it all begins with the same illusion. The belief that we know how life is supposed to go. But uncertainty isn't the enemy. Uncertainty is the doorway, something greater. It doesn't need to be fixed, escaped, or figured out. It just needs to be felt and seen. What creates our real struggle is not uncertainty, but the part of us that demands certainty. The ego, the self-image that believes it must be in control. This part of us says, I can't rest until I know. I can't rest until I know everything will be okay. I can't rest until I know my business is going to be good. I can't rest until I know how this relationship is going to work out. I can't rest until I know my child gets into a good school. That means there's one way that we believe that we can rest. And we forget that there's an unlimited field, that life could work out so many ways. Life has maybe. But we are solving the fear with certainty instead of solving it with our heart, solving it by being present, by living in the moment, by experiencing the miracle of the moment, and being open enough to allow life to show us what's next and create a bigger, more expansive life. So within us, there's a part of us that's quiet and aware and still, and it can see life without needing control. And what's so amazing is this awareness that we have inside is not afraid of what the moment holds. It doesn't need the next answer. It just is. And we connect with all that is divine and meaningful. We don't always need to think our way through uncertainty. Of course, sometimes we do. There's a problem in front of us. It needs an answer. But often we are angry and mad that life didn't work out the way that we thought, and we don't even give it a pause. Sometimes we need to feel our way through something. We need to be present enough to meet the moment the way it is, not the way we think it should be. And that is the beginning of peace. Because the moment, this very moment, has its own intelligence. It speaks not in words, but in presence. When we stop projecting our fear onto it, we start to hear it. We feel a kind of rhythm underneath the noise, something sacred. The moment isn't empty when there's uncertainty. It's alive, and it's asking for us to participate, not control. There's a difference. We can partner with the moment. When we try to control it, we resist it. This shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? And then we suffer and we get confused and we get anxious and we get down. But if you realize what the moment's asking me to participate in this, to be part of this moment, ideas will come to you. Solutions will come over time. And hope stays in your heart because you know life has maybe, and uncertainty is your best friend. Because if you want your life to change, it has to happen in the unknown. The truth is, uncertainty will always be part of our lives. And I know many people say suffering is a choice, but I think we all know there are certain things in our lives that we love so much that we will suffer. But the peace that we can alleviate is the peace that we have just because uncertainty exists. It's the peace of the suffering that we have because when we don't know, we decide it's going to be bad. We decide something's wrong. And that's why I always talk about the maybe practice, which you could hear on so many of my podcasts. And all it does, it just reminds you that your biggest fear is not the only voice in the room. That you don't know what tomorrow brings. And because you don't know, life is filled with infinite possibilities. And if you want to learn the maybe practice, just look for one of my podcasts that has maybe in the title. And as Guy Finley says, the pain we feel from uncertainty is not proof something is wrong. It's evidence that something greater is trying to come through us. Possibly something greater than the idea we had. And when we allow ourselves to live without creating that false sense of certainty, and we let it fall away, a new strength appears, one that becomes friends with uncertainty, that knows that's the power, that's the glory, that's the beauty, that's the field of possibilities. We give up mental certainty for a grounded presence. And we're able to be present because we know the past is behind us, that uncertainty is our best friend, and the moment is calling us for something. Isn't that amazing? When you realize what's done cannot be undone and you do not look behind you. And you know that uncertainty is a place of infinite possibilities. And if you want your life to change, it has to happen in the unknown. We fall into a grounded presence, willing to partner with the moment, willing to ask the moment, what do you need me to do? What is happening? What are you offering me? How can I participate? And then we meet life as it is. So strong, so powerful. That's the most secure we will ever be. And it's the gift that the present offers us. But we have to have peace with the unknown in order to get there. So the next time uncertainty is overwhelming you and you start to resist, of course, you could do the maybe practice, which I highly recommend. And you could let uncertainty be your invitation, not to control, but to awaken, to listen, to feel, to be. Because for all you know, maybe the best is yet to come. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can email me at allison@allisoncarmen.com. If you'd like to buy my books, The Gift of Maybe, A Year Without Men, Maybe Everything's Okay, A Parent's Guide to Less Stress and Worry, you can buy them at all major bookstores and online retailers. If you'd like to buy my Maybe cards or my online Maybe digital journal, they're available on Amazon, Etsy, and my Stan store. And most of all, if you like this podcast, I hope you subscribe and leave a comment.